Hello, my name is FreeHappyDolphin and today we will improve your company of heroes free gameplay in the fastest way possible. No heavy grinding, no complex solutions for never occurring situations, but just 10 practical tips to make the very next battle better. Let's jump into the new company of heroes free Practico series. Some players might be surprised to know that you can break machine gun suppression in many more ways than just retreat. One of them, if you have any building nearby, is getting inside of it, which will unpin your unit. And sometimes you will be able even to exit by using another door. The same could be done with embarking vehicles. In case of need, just get your vehicle near suppressed units, pick it up and give hard time for that NG. I just talked that you can use any exit of the building, but maybe some of you do not know how to do that. Of course, first of all, I would really hope that you are not using mouse for tapping the grid, but using hotkey for it, though the best habit is to always exit buildings by using tab button and then clicking on the direction where you want your units to exit to. This can help in many more situations than that machine gun suppression. One of them is to evade sneaky grenades. And this is where the small grenade tactics comes into the third tip. Of course, the usage of grenades should be conservative. Use them only when you know your opponent is not paying attention or if you want to force him out of a good position. The main tip here comes when you want to force your opponent out of the house. Usually people just throw a grenade anywhere on a house, and while this completes objective, this misses on a huge opportunity to do big damage. What you should do is to always throw a grenade directly on the exit of the building. This way, even opponent manages to dash full damage in the building, he will take a big hit on closely packed unit on the exit. We talked about getting units out of the cover with grenades, but there's one more fun and tricky way of doing it, so you should be careful of it by following this tip. If you don't do that, you just can walk a few steps back, jump in back in the cover, and you're smashing them in the open field. So the actual tip is that if you attack your opponent, it doesn't matter if you shift click to the cover position, you still will need to press stop as well after reaching them. Otherwise, your unit will follow opponent, so he could just kite your units out of the cover and get an edge. By the way, I'm trying this new series since I noticed that these small bite-sized practical tips are valuable but yet missing in company viewers free space. If you agree with me, it would be great if you let me know that by clicking the like button. And next, the fifth tip revolves around abilities. While not forget using them is good tip overall, let's be more specific in Practico series. Ability that is super fun to use, especially against camo MGs or just in general because opponents don't anticipate it, is Vickers Focused Gunnery. There's no cost for it and you can quickly come back to normal arc after getting that really surprise value in. For the next tip, let's still keep talking about abilities, and this time we jump into DAC. By the way, I think DAC is so hard to play sometimes because people don't use every single unique thing and especially abilities with it. The ability that I'm talking specifically right now, of course, is underused Assault Disembark on Assault Grenadiers. It's excellent ability for its close range unit because with an extra movement speed and damage reduction, this can close distance much better, and with free grenades also kick opponent out of the cover position. The best part is that since this bonus lasts even 15 seconds, you can actually use it by not diving with 250 and risking it. If it's better in that situation, you can just come close to the combat, shoot a few shots with 250, and now as it counts being in combat, you can claim the bonus by disembarking and closing in with grants. Now that we started to talk about vehicles, I will recommend to get your first light vehicle like Humber car or flak as early as possible. This will give massive advantage, and you can get ahead by skipping your faction's May healing option. Usually this will cost you a bit more micro for it, for example using Dingo 250 or a Veteran 1 German Grenadier ability for healing. Sometimes it can be harder to achieve if you lose a lot of first fights, but it's really worth it since your opponent won't have good counters at early time. The 8th tip is to prioritize fuel over VPs. Of course, it's so unfortunate to lose on VPs if you technically won the battle, so usually players tend to fight a lot for them, but it's much better to have habit of going too aggressively on fuel and lose like 1 out of 10 battles for VPs than losing like 9 out of 10 battles after having 300 VP's lead just because you let your opponent have all the fuel in the world and get massive advantage you just cannot fight eventually. Many players know that it's best to place their buildings manually as close to the front as possible because of a shortened walking time. Another thing that might be not so obvious is that you should place your healing building manually as well to maximize healing area on the path towards the front, because default placement does not use that range effectively. But of course, don't forget to use that range yourself effectively. You can heal just as well on the edge of the healing area close to the front as near the building itself. And the last tip can make your units work like Bersaglieri in terms of capping speed if your opponent is not doing the same. For this, you simply need to guide capping manually by placing unit out of the cap except one model on the cap circle, and of course aligning it on the closest path towards the next point you are going to capture. So thank you for watching. This were all 10 tips for Component Heroes free on Practico series. Don't forget to check other episodes of Tips series and see you soon.